Hello everyone, what's going on? This is RO7 here, and I'm bringing you Wolfenstein The New Order review brought to you by heavenforgamers.com. The game takes place during 1916, in a world in which the Nazis won the Second World War. You're taking the role of serious protagonist William Blazkowicz, voiced by Brian Bloom, who is tasked with launching an impossible counter-offensive against the Nazi powers that have taken over the world. The New Order is in fact 9th installment in Wolfenstein series, available for PC, PS3, Xbox 360 and next-gen consoles. It's developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda Softworks on May 20, 2014, even though original release date was planned for June previous year. Game used ID Tech 5 engine, which was used in Rage back in 2011. Graphical improvements are noticeable, especially on character faces, but at the same time, technical issues, mostly for AMD cards, were still present, which is quite annoying. As soon as you get into a game, you will realize that video options are different, with new expressions which might confuse you, but they really works properly, and with VT Compress you can actually optimize game to use your GPU VRAM as best as it can. Game is locked on 60 FPS despite turning vertical sync off, which might worry 60 Hz plus monitor users. Story is placed in 1946, when World War II rages across Europe. Nazi forces have turned the tide in dramatic fashion behind the technologically advanced war machine of General Wilhelm Strasse, known as Deathhead. When a final Allied assault on Deathhead's compounds fails, the Allies' greatest hopes falls with it. Your captain, B.G. Blazkowicz, the American war hero, where after direct assault on Deathheads, he's getting fatal wounds and he gets isolated from world in wheelchairs for 14 years. This time Blazkowicz will show his action-destructive side, but it will not forget side where he can fall in love and fight for something more than just killing Nazis. Gameplay, beside mentioned technical issues and release date, it's actually fairly smooth and fast. Your character have health but and shield counter, which will greatly help to survive in battle. Items as health kits, armor, ammo and weapons are collectible by pressing E even while you're in fight without any interruptions, which keeps old school feeling still in air. Most of the time, after a couple minutes through the game, you will be smashing E to collect items even without realizing what you're getting. One more thing which is rarely seen, perhaps only in Quake series, is health overcharge, which means that once when you get health items after having 100 HP, you will get overcharge, which means that you will have more than 100 health, but it will go down slowly even if you don't get any damage, which means that it will be helpful in fights especially. I feel like that there is a lack of boss fights and they are not challenging enough even on higher difficulties. Stealth system is still there, which really reminds me of Dishonored. Going slowly and taking enemies down from behind, or just using silencer on your pistol will help you greatly, especially later through the game, when you might find yourself without HP or ammo despite beginning of the game, where you might think that you're actually invulnerable. Areas are huge, map is available, but most of the time you will find way through the levels without even using a map. But for hidden items, health upgrades and perks you will need to explore, search for entrances and perhaps do small side objectives. Game gives you choice only once through the game, but it feels that it's important, and as devs actually suggested that players should go at least another time through game after beating it for first time, I will strongly agree and recommend if you're a true Wolfenstein fan or you just enjoy through your first playthrough. There is variety of weapons, where some of those can be found only by exploring and not rushing through main story. Also, the New Order featured dual-wielding weapons even with 2 rifles, which is kinda comic, pretty inaccurate, but it deals more damage and it's handy for longer actions, especially on close range. Grenades, EMPs to interrupt robots and shields are available as well as throwable knives, which comes handy for stealth fights. Whole game is around 46 GB, where 10 GB of files per game, around 25 GB videos and rest are assets, which is, you must admit, completely unnecessary. With an essential early game choice that makes it worth playing through twice, this is actually a positive step forward for the series. Campaign is long, approximately around 6 to 7 hours if you don't care about optional stuff, but if you're going for higher percent of competition, it will take even around 12 hours sometimes. Shaky and not so stable engine is not something to be proud of, but it still improved Science Rage, unfortunately not so promising for upcoming Doom 4 and The Evil Within. The game does not support multiplayer mode, so playing twice through campaign might be the only worth and memorable experience.